on the right. Chelsea, league leaders at this moment in time, 3 points clear of Arsenal. Their 3-2 defeat in the fixture last season ended a 7-game unbeaten runaway against Arsenal in the WSL, and they found the net at least once in their last 10 visits to the Gunners. This is at the Emirates, so this time will it have a major sway in this fixture? Crowd of around about 40,000 expected on this lovely day in North London, and it's great to see WSL fixtures played at the Premier League homes of the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea and Tottenham, of course, Manchester United. They've all played their games at their major men's homes this season, which is a progressive move, and one I think that should be encouraged and enhanced in the future. Well, Arsenal, of course, without their long-term injury victims, Mead and Miedemar, Nobs left for Aston Villa. Been a busy winter break. Their 4 new signings, D'Angelo, Palova, Kuhl and Gio, all on the bench. 3 changes from the team that clinched the Champions League group against Zurich before Christmas. Veenrota preferred to Maritz at right back. Leah Williamson reverted to centre back, so Kim Little can come back into midfield. Her first league game since the knee injury in October, and Lina Hurtig gets her first league start at the club in preference to McKay. That's the Arsenal starting line. Very, very strong bench as well. Blow for Chelsea, and the warm-up for this, Frank Kirby picked up a slight injury in training this week. Jessie Fleming replaces her Olympic gold medalist. Their only change from their Champions League win over PSG on December the 22nd. Musovic in goal, plays her first league game since the opening defeat this season at Liverpool. She played in that Champions League match, though, before Christmas. They've won 18 of their last 19 WSL games, including their last 9. They've never won 10 on the spin. Always a terrific tussle between these two sides, and Arsenal have got some tremendous players in that midfield. Marnham is there, the Norwegian international. Valti is there, the Swiss international. Kim Little we've mentioned. Not really had time to mention Lina Hurtig, the Swedish flyer she can be on her day. And Caitlin Ford, of course, the Australian goal scorer, has 5 this season, along with Stina Blackstone. There's just one English player in that Arsenal starting lineup, and that is the England captain, Leah Williamson. You always get a shift out of Erin Cuthbert, you know that. She's 100%, she really is the Scottish international, one of the players of last season, unheralded, I felt, by many in the Chelsea session. Just see Gura Wrighton just peeping through there behind the body of Neve Charles and Lauren James, and Gura Wrighton hugely important for Emma Hayes and her coaching team, though she hasn't been amongst the goals as much this season, only has the couple of goals. And a warm greeting between the rival benches. It wasn't necessarily warm after Arsenal won the fixture last season, when Emma Hayes felt that the Arsenal coach Jonas Eidevall celebrated too fiercely in front of their dugout. But he's explained why today. They had a bit of a mixed build-up. It was his first season in charge, and to get things underway with that win, he felt was tremendously important. The referee is Emily Heaslip. It's her 9th game in charge of WSL football this season, and she will encourage the players to take the knee here in the constant and necessary battle against racism. Off we go, though, in the biggest WSL game of the season. It's Arsenal in the red and white, defending the goal away to your right-hand side against the league leaders, Chelsea. And it will be of huge consequence here for the rest of the season. Not just the result, but the way the game is played live on television around the world, as the WSL strives to maintain the momentum created over the last 3 or 4 years, and of course given such a boost by England's win in the European Championships last summer. Chelsea look direct up towards Sam Kerr, but it's collected here at the back for Arsenal by the Brazilian defender Rafael. You can hear the enthusiastic noise from the supporters. Big crowd, good to see. Lauren James played it infield. Now here's Neve Charles, the England Euro 22 provisional player. And on the right-hand side for Chelsea. And Kadisha Buchanan has it. Wonderful talent to be playing in English football. The Canadian superstar, I think you could call her that. And part of a team that will be heading out to the World Cups in Australasia, where they'll play the host nation, Australia, Ireland and Nigeria in their group. And this is a throw to Arsenal. Let me remind you, if you've just joined us, Arsenal hit by long-term injuries to Beth Mead and Viv Miedema, so crucial to getting their goals. And of course they said goodbye to Jordan Nobbs as well. In recent days she went off to Aston Villa. So they've been busy in this month break. Tachira Musovic keeping her place in the Chelsea goal. And Katrin Berger is only on the bench, the German World Cup, European Championship squad player, I should say. Musovic, parents born in Serbia. She actually was born in Sweden. She's a Swedish international. And her last start was that surprise 2-1 win back on September the 18th in the league, that is, though she has played in the Champions League. Put forward by Fleming for Chelsea. Now they look over the top for Sam Kerr on the shoulder of the last defender, and tidying up is Leah Williamson. So popular here, Leah Williamson, family Arsenal fan. She's an Arsenal season ticket holder. She joined the club when she was 9 back in 2006. Forward plays back then towards Leah Vulty. And now out to Williamson once again. Vulty will anchor that midfield, the Swiss international. She's only missed 1 game this season. So has Frida Marnham. Kim Little has missed the 3. Catley starting very, very high on the left-hand side. There's a compatriot, Caitlin Ford. And Cuthbert. Delena Eriksson, the Chelsea captain, playing on the left side of defence, left full-back. She's played them many, many times. Her preferred positions, left side centre-back, of course, or left side centre-back of a 3. Is exposed in the midfield area. It was a heavy touch in there by Vulty, and Chelsea look to counter now very, very quickly. And they've got it out wide to Eriksson, the cross in the middle, and looking for Sam Kerr. Well dealt with in there by Raphael, who by 3 inches is the taller of those two. People look at Sam Kerr and instantly recognise her physique, her strength, but she's actually only 5'6", not the tallest. Only got 1 headed goals this season, Sam Kerr, but in the box she comes alive. 10 goals, 9 of them inside the penalty area. Musovic then for Chelsea. Out to Buchanan. Really bright on the left-hand side of the pair. More often than not, actually played right-side centre-back for Chelsea or England. Rolls it forward then to Cuthbert. That's a risk. She took a risk there. And Blackstenius back into the middle. And easily dealt with. Opportunity that for Arsenal after the error. And it was an opportunity for Arsenal. They could have and should have profited from that. 4 wins in their last 5, 16 league wins in 17, scoring 56 goals in that time. 10 home wins in 11 in the league. The only team to beat them on home soil was Brighton, surprisingly, last April. Put away for Arsenal to Blackstenius. The first effort by Marnham is blocked. How can they get the cross in here from Caitlin Ford? Chelsea defending. Good open start to the game. Raphael loses possession. James fit, enjoying her football. Dangerous for Chelsea. Carried a long, long way before the shot went wide. Signed in the summer of 2021 from Manchester United. Scored a couple in their last game before the break against PSG. She's in form. He hasn't played as many games of football over the last 2 or 3 years she'd like to because of fitness concerns. Still only 21 years of age, mind you. Shot always veering wide. Brother of Chelsea's men's team, Reece, and the England right back, of course. Works hard across the pitch. She's made 11 interceptions this season, which is a high number for a forward. If you take into comparison, Sam Kerr's made a couple, but she plays higher up the pitch. But she works really hard in that role. Problem here for Wrighton. How crucial is she for Chelsea? Well, I'll tell you, she's been involved in more goals than any other player in the WSL this season. 9 assists. She slid in there, and as she slid in, she hurt herself to try and put some pressure on Manuela Zinsberger, the Austrian goalkeeper. If she gets an assist today, she'll join an illustrious trio: Karen Carney, Ji So-yun and Fran Kirby, who are in double figures assisting for Chelsea in a single season. Eve Charles with the throw. Free kick to Arsenal. Kim Little, 5 times a champion with Arsenal in her 2 spells. And on the ball again. She's a vibrant player. She makes them fizz. And with Little and Volti holding in the deep position, Frida Marnham, you can see they're wearing 12, and get into the advanced position where she's scored 8 goals this season. That's a good tackle. Really strong challenge by Millie Bright. Cuthbert forward for Kerr. And Zinsberger had to race out and got there, but only just. He missed the 1 game this season. It was in the Champions League for Arsenal. The home game against Zurich, which they won 3-1. That is the main danger. Kerr beyond the defenders. Now Arsenal in a good position with Blackstenius, ball at her feet and running into the penalty area, and she looks for Hurtig, who didn't make proper contact. No strength on the strike from the Swedish international. Good run by Blackstenius, the ball in behind. Into the gap went Hurtig, the 27-year-old Swedish international. But she couldn't add to the 2 goals she has scored for Arsenal, the last of which came in October. Good chance. That's interesting. Sophie Ingle peering into the sun, which is in the face of the Chelsea players on this Sunday lunchtime in the UK. Long and up towards Kerr. Williamson is there. Technically gifted player, Leah Williamson. Not just a good defender, but she's a wonderful passer of the ball. And Arsenal through and through. They were on holiday as a family down in Bude in Cornwall back in 2006. And she was, what, 9 at the time, and she was mascot for an Arsenal game against West Bromwich Albion, but they went away on holiday. Was she having any of that? No. Her mum had to drive the 430-mile round trip so that Leah could be mascot for the day. And here she is, 205 games into her Arsenal career. Raphael came from Chinese football, who has travelled around in America and now Europe with Arsenal. Forward. Too strong there for the defender, got away from Charles, and that's a dangerous moment for Chelsea. Misovic got everything behind it in the end. But this was a real concern in the way that she could brush Charles off and get into the penalty area, cutting forward. Right to get it away. Good, noisy, raucous support. Fleming, strong challenge on her. Arsenal's Wienreiter. That's offside, Sam Kerr. Williamson. Only Steph Horton in WSL football history has passed the ball out from the fence more successfully than Williamson. Some company to be with. Here's Little. And an opportunity here for Arsenal to get in behind again. Blackstenius to a right-hand side. She brings in the support of Frida Marnham, and the shot was blocked. Chelsea was stretched there. Buchanan lost it in the sun, I think. Marnham, she's another who's only missed one game this season. 4 league goals, 4 more in the Champions League. "40 games previously for Arsenal. She'd scored just 4 goals. She's got 8 this season in her 16. Targeted again by Buchanan, young player of the tournament back in World Cup 15. Seems a long time ago now. Only 27 still. Little bit too high there for Lena Hurtig, who joined in the summer from Juventus. Arsenal over the last year have been changing the squad. Noticeably, Wienreiter came in a year ago, Hurtig in the summer, Raphael a year ago. Blackstenius also came in January of 2022, and then the new signings have just arrived. Angelo, the goalkeeper, Pelova, international, cool likewise. It's not just the title they want to take off Chelsea, but they want, as do Chelsea, to be successful in the Champions League. Arsenal, the only British team to have won that. It was in its guise as the UEFA Cup at the time. It was then, though, Europe's supreme trophy for women. Williamson allowed to bring it out. Slipped under the foot of Blackstenius. Forward will put pressure on Charles. Deflects it away for a Chelsea throw. Came into the England reckoning in April of 2021. Has only picked up the 4 internationals since then. Still relatively young at 23, a former Liverpool defender. Played, no goals. Raphael from Bahia in Brazil originally. Cuthbert now releases to Fleming, who's come to the right-hand side. He goes across looking for Sam Kerr to pressurise Williamson. And Arsenal will bring it away. Comfortable on the ball is Leah Valti. Over 100 caps now for Switzerland. Came from a good club in Germany, Turbine Potsdam. She's been an Arsenal player now for 5 years this coming summer. The squad that won the league. Arsenal have won it a record 15 times, the FA Cup a record 14 times. Coming back to Musovic. Chelsea have picked up 12 senior trophies, 5 League 4 Cup, a couple of League Cups in there as well, all in the last 9 years. Here's Raphael. Only 3 league appearances for her before today. She was out from late September through to mid-December when she returned for the Champions League matches. If this is a signpost game for the title, the penultimate game for the two teams on the 21st of May when they meet at Kings Meadow, Chelsea's home game would possibly be a title decider. See a member of Emma Hayes' coaching staff coming out of the dugout. Denise Raddy and Tanya Oxtoby, the US coach. US qualified coach there with her, and Paul Green, of course, has been with her for a long while. Now Raphael. Chelsea throw. It is Paul who's just going out barking orders out to his players. It is very much a coaching team at Chelsea. Erin Cuthbert, no one gets through more work for her in the blue of Chelsea. James. There's Buchanan. Millie Bright, no one has touched the ball this season at the back more often for Chelsea than Millie Bright. Towards Fleming. Wrighton. And Fleming combining, it's Wrighton into the box looking for Kerr. And the shot from Cuthbert is blocked. Always looking to profit from that position, the busy Erin Cuthbert. Now James. Bright. No goals in the 20th minute. Couple of chances for Arsenal. That's a foul. I would have thought the referee says go on, but I think that Doughty was certainly caught. That is a foul. Buchanan tracking back with Blackstenius. Two goals shy of 200 in her career, Sina Blackstenius at club level. Ford. Good tackle. That's what Lauren James does very well. You have to work hard in a Emma Hayes side, and she does just that. Most of Arsenal's moves have come down their left. Kerr. Time for Williamson to bring in Kim Little. Now Marner goes for goal. She played up front for Norway in the European Championship, where they were so disappointing. Scored against Northern Ireland, I think she got the goal against. They were awful against England down in Brighton. Kerr. Now Buchanan will bring it away. from Toronto. Part of the Canadian Olympic gold medal squad playing today. Jessie Fleming, another Ontario-born player from London, Ontario, of course, is in that side. It's offside, Kathleen Ford. New signings on that Arsenal bench give it a very experienced look. There's some experience on that Chelsea bench as well. Just Carter is there, England international. And Svitkova is there as well. Chankovic came in this season. And one youngster is there in Alsu Abdelina, the 21-year-old Russian. They've got a couple of campaigns now. Raphael for Arsenal. We went through the first half, very tight. Foul on Valti. And Cuthbert, 28 tackles before today's game, more than anyone else in the Chelsea side. Arsenal try and switch it. This is where they have been dangerous. It's offside, I believe. But certainly Ford seems to have the better in the Naib Charles. Low, glassy, wintry sun, I think, has caused some problems for those Chelsea defenders in the first half. Valti. Then they look to their left-hand side. Played in dangerously. Cleared by Buchanan. I think the flag is raised again. Ford had strayed momentarily offside as she linked with Steph Catley down that Arsenal left-hand side. The Australians combining. Jordan Nobbs watching on. 12 trophies as an Arsenal player, 3 league titles, 270 games, 81 goals. And Sarival said this week he didn't want to allow Jordan Nobbs to leave, but she wanted to get regular game time ahead of the World Cup in Australasia. She's missed too many major international days through injury. Canada, she missed out. She was with the squad, but played a minimal role because of injury, and she missed out on France 2019 altogether. "20 minutes to go in the first half. First game in 3 weeks for both sides. First game in a month in the WSL. Chelsea had a warm weather training camp in Spain. Went away just after Christmas for 12 days, and first time they've been able to do that. And Emma Hayes was saying it was a perfect time to go. The players had time to interact, spend time together. Ford. Again, they've gone inside Charles to get the crossing from Catley. This is where they are most dangerous. And spooned away by Fleming to James. Looking for Kerr, and out comes Zinsberger. Second time she's had to win that foot race, and did. Here's Kerr. They are missing Pernilla Harder, though. She's been out for a while with a hamstring injury. Melanie Leupolz is back in the first team group, but by the way, after her maternity leave, which has been a real boost, according to Emma Hayes, fine player, the German international. Cuthbert. And Buchanan. Erin Cuthbert. One of the best about, I think, in that position. Only 24, Erin Cuthbert. 57 times capped Scottish international, and she could well go on to make 100 internationals. Millie Bright for England has 63. And Buchanan 930 for Canada. And Chelsea comfortable in possession at 0-0. Transfer window is still open in the WSL, although I think Arsenal have done their business, and Em Hayes has said she can't really see anyone coming in. It's not her style anyway, January transfers. Although she did a couple last season. Cuthbert drops in there by little, and there's Sophie Ingle just tidying things up, as she loves to do. And the Tokyo Olympics for Team GB, deservedly so. Adds a calmness in there, does Ingle. Chelsea play up to Kerr, spinning away from Raphael. Cuthbert can play out to James, but she was quickly blocked by Caitlin Ford, who saw that danger and blocked that passing route. James now to take on Catley. And she's done well. In comes across Raphael, prodded out of foot to get it away. Now Little. Williamson OBE now after the Lionesses' success. By Velti. If kind of wanted to play that back, had to turn and go forward. Kurt, untidy, that was sloppy. Here's Raphael. And Williamson. Good ball. The flag has stayed down. Blackstenius. Back to her, cut out by Buchanan. Low volume from Ford. She gets a second chance round the corner. And it comes again from Ford. Headed out by Millie Bright. And then Buchanan flings herself at the follow-up shot. Hugely important for Chelsea this season with a 22 clearances, Millie Bright 42 clearances at the back. And they have come under pressure. Those two have been twin pillars. Corner ball for Arsenal. Going into that near post, that's a terrible corner. All wrong. Not the best we've seen from Frida Arnhem. Now to go in the first half. No goals. No news of when Pernilla Harder will be back in action, by the way. We saw her up in the stands. This is a chance for Arsenal, side netting from Lena Hurtig. Great pace to get there. Bright's clearance ricocheted away. Now watch her pace here to get to the dead ball line. That's not the option she should have used. Caitlin Ford was in the middle. Arnhem involved again. She's been at the heart of most things that have been good about Arsenal. Arsenal 6 shots. Chelsea the 2, but none on target. No, the last statement I saw about Harder that came out of Chelsea was back in the late autumn when she'd had the hamstring injury on duty with Denmark, and she had surgery, and they expected her to be out for a long while, and she's still missing. Otherwise, you've just seen here today. Now James, strength and purpose, and brought down. Good turn in tight space and winning to run with the ball. Power and poise from the 21-year-old. Five goals for Chelsea this season, 33 in her career in 86 games. She was at Arsenal as a youngster, Chelsea before then, and then she was at Arsenal as a teenager before moving up to Manchester United. It's a foul by Cuthbert. Arsenal won both of their WSL games against Chelsea at the Emirates. They won 3-1 in April 2012. Experimental game then, really, and then they won 3-2 last season. I thought that was up at Boreham Wood, but apparently it was here, according to the stats. And those 2 wins, that's 50% of all of their home victories against the Blues in the competition. Chelsea had the upper hand normally in this fixture, but not today. We'll show you those goals, I think, at half-time, if we've got time, from last year's game. Two teams in terrific form. Arsenal 16 league wins in 17, Chelsea 18 in 19. Out by Brights now. Ingle to Cuthbert, little bit of space. Arsenal can't give her that, she's fouled. Volti with the offence. I mean, he slipped. The referee showing a deal of patience there, because that could have been deemed a yellow card offence. She certainly stopped Chelsea moving forwards. Chelsea 55% of possession so far in the opening 35 minutes. That's Wrighton. Been kept very quiet by Laura Wienreiter. Austrian Euro 2021 player. From Hoffenheim a year ago. James more central this time. Now Charles attacking for the first time. Away by Leah Williamson. Charles, strong challenge on her by Ford. It's on the opposite side of the pitch from the Chelsea fans, but you could hear what they felt of it. They thought that was a penalty. I'm not too sure it was. Wrighton. Gives the ball up to Kerr. by Magdalena Eriksson, who's followed a pass, gone to the edge of the penalty area. Chelsea have made one signing, Maika Hamano, the Japanese international from Kobe Leonessa. She's on a 4-year deal where they've loaned her out to Hammarby in Sweden for the rest of the campaign. Out by Williamson. Firm-headed to clear it away. That's the incident where they thought they might have had a penalty. Well, it wasn't shoulder to shoulder. She ran into the Chelsea player, and they've got a big claim there, you know. Took a risk in cutting forward. From that angle, that looks as if it should have been a penalty. And away by Hurtig. Good spell for Chelsea. In stoppage time, I'd say about 9 minutes to go. Second ball into the box, away by Williamson once again. Eriksson. Blocks once more, the England captain, this time from Wrighton. Lauren James. It's a corner ball. Getting on top here now, Chelsea. Comes the corner kick. Running away powerfully by Wienreuter at that near post area. That clearance is dropped though, kindly for Chelsea, and the effort was blocked. New chance it was with that shot. Arsenal dealing with the pressure, but not particularly comfortably. Valti's clearance away, not picked up by Hurtig. Arsenal have it back now with Marner. Strength here for Arsenal, and a foul challenge by James in the yellow card. Stopped Arsenal getting away down the right-hand side, can't really complain. A very good season, Freedom Arnold. Rudimentary swipe of a challenge. Players wearing black armbands today. Footballers lost number of big names tragically of late, and Arsenal have their own tragedy. Beth Mead's mum June has passed. She passed recently, start of the year, January the 7th I think it was. She had a long and a brave battle with ovarian cancer. It's the way that the England international announced the sad passing of her mum. If love could have saved you, you would have lived forever, said Beth of June, who was a great supporter for her last summer in the Euros. Our best wishes to the family in this time of grief. 5 minutes to go. Bright, again peering into that sun. It's lost there by Fleming. Hasn't really got into the game, the Canadian international. She's normally a busy player. She averages 30-40 touches in a match, but not today. Catley gets a second chance, does she? Nope. Out by Charles. Now Kerr. Coming through the middle, right into the left-hand side. Wienreuter draws across. Did well there, the fullback. A couple of days after her birthday it is today. Birthday's on the 13th. Buchanan sink to one knee to get that clearance away. Sadness also for Gilly Flaherty, of course. Recently she's quit football now, age 31, following the death of her dad. So best wishes to Gilly. And a legacy she leaves. Here's Cuthbert from the current generation of Chelsea. Flaherty was a former Chelsea player, of course. Now 3 minutes to go in the first half. Played out wide by Fleming, right in with the cross. That's a very important block by Kim Little back there. Gets through so much work. The BBC were describing this, by the way, as possibly the biggest club game in women's football in Europe. I think that the Spanish clubs might argue with that. Lyon PSG as well. Not forgetting the German size Bundesliga. The Frauen Bundesliga has been so strong. Now Little will get it away. Certainly as the WSL gets stronger and stronger, I think these two sides will have a claim to be Europe's best, as long as they can end the run without the Champions League. It's crucial. Ingle, Wrighton. Came across in the end from Fleming and headed away, and Arsenal will look to counter. Blackstenius, both sides have cancelled each other out. Here's Raphael. Experienced Brazilian defender. Back to her. Copa America winner with them last year, and indeed in 2018 too. Just skips away from Frida Marnham, who's been the most adventurous forward-running player on the pitch for me. Arsenal bench, Spinny D'Angelo, the new goalkeeper there, Lotta Bubenmoy, the England international, Jen Beattie is there. Williamson, long and diagonal. Hung a long time in the air, that's the problem with that sort of a ball, and Lauren James could get back. Darty. Now Ford. Goal kick, and the game's gone very flat. 1 minute of stoppage time, you'd have heard being announced. Both sides have been direct at times. Chelsea long up to Sam Kerr, and Arsenal with the big diagonals. Millie Bright. Up to Kerr. Ingle. Gets it back again. Finds James. Giles making that run just inside her. Cuthbert in support. It's a bustling direct run, and the shot's deflected away off Raphael. The corner here for Chelsea. Bright up from the back. Looking for a first goal since she netted against PSG in October. And it comes. High loft on it. Kerr arrived at the back post. That's her first chance, and for a player of her ability, she'll be disappointed that A, she didn't hit the target, and B, she didn't score. Given the fact it She got between the defenders and got the header in. She certainly should have hit the target. Well, both teams cancelled each other out. That was the last chance of the half. Sam Kerr, bright start to the game by Lauren James.